Hello, let's try to solve shortcut theory now, especially on wind loads. Okay, so let's go with this one. So this is Kassimali's method. Okay, so determine the external wind pressure on the roof of a non-residential building. Okay, it is a category B and located on Boston. Okay, so unsa ni si external wind pressure? Okay, so this is found on this spot here. Ano ni siya dire? Okay? So, ang tawag niya dire is windward wall, and we also have leeward wall. Okay, windward wall receives and leeward wall is on the back side of it. Okay, so let's go with the solution at hand. Okay, so when you're solving for this one, okay, you can think of this one as pressure. Okay, so let's say if I wanted windward wall pressure, okay, so I need to think about P. It has its own formula, okay, which is simply Q multiplied by CP multiplied by G. Okay? Okay, so what is G? So this is automatically 0.85. So it has its own value, so 0.85. Next one would be CP, in which case we need to get from a set of tables or a table of values. And then Q is, well, it has its own formula as well, which is 0.00256. So why not, let's start with this one. Okay, so this is what the formula looks like. And we have V. Okay, so for the first two coefficients, this is basically 1. Both of them are 1 value, or it has a value of 1. KZ has its own formula. At the same time, V, you kind of need another set of values for this one. Okay, you need a reference basically. So KZ, so what is KZ? KZ is also a formula base 1. Okay, so we have something called 2.01. We've had that this is D, with also a Z value here that we do not know. At the same time, 2 over alpha that we also do not know. Okay, so what is D? So D is basically this length here at this wall here. Okay, and you plus it with half of this one. So this will be D. Okay, so if I put it in a formula, we can say, or we can see that it is 11 plus 7. In terms of feet, natin siya. 11 feet plus 7 over 12 feet plus, we have 16. 16 feet plus 10. Alright, so plus 10 over 12 feet over, we have this times 2. Okay? And this is all divided by Z. So let's check. We have Z value that we don't know yet. Okay, so what is our Z value here? So our Z value, okay, it basically denotes the idea that is this. Okay? That's the table, and then we try to get it done. So basically, we can say that category B siya na building. So that one borns Z value of 1 to 100 feet, and our alpha, which is at 7. Gets? So if we put it here, tayo 2 over 7 din 2 over 7. Oh my goodness. We also have Z value, which is 1 to 100 feet. Right. So let's say our KZ karon is gonna be in terms of A na lang. Kilang. In terms of F. This is just a store value. Okay, how about our next one? So to find, let's find V. So V, in this case, we can relate to our to this map here. So kind of looks rough, but that is basically the US. Okay, in Kassimali, he uses the reference of the map, which is the US, to get our respective V values. Okay, Boston is located here. Si Boston Celtics daw, si Boston Celtics, si Jaylen Brown dire, the Jason Tatum. And we have a value which is in terms of English, 110 miles per hour. So let's get that one and input here, right? Kita. So Q, karon, is simply 0.025, 6, multiply by 1, multiply by 1, multiply by 1, can you see F? And also we have 110 to the power of 2. Okay? So I'm gonna denote that as another store value A. Right? Okay lang. So this is store value A, just chill. We need it for our CP naman din. So let's get our respective CP. Alright, so let's say windward ato ang gusto first. So saan ni siya? Okay? So for windward, saan ni windward? Saan ba eh? CP A. Tama. So windward, you kinda need the ratio of H over L. Okay, so I need to find H over L first. Okay? The ratio here is basically our distance D, which is, I do not know how long that is. That's pretty long. Okay, let's not have it long. Let's not have it long. So 7 over 12 plus 16 plus 10 over 12 over 2. Simply 20. So we have 20 over L. L na to is this one. Okay? Naka 40 siya. Whole na siya ha. So pag 40 na nakaroon, we say that this is 0.5 or 1/2. Okay, according sa table, if 0.5 siya, if 0.5 ang H over L, then that means I have respective values of 35 and 40. This is for windward ha. I think this is 0.3, yeah, 0.2, 0 and 0.4. Let me check. Check. Pak. Baliktad. So 0.2 maguna. And then 0.3. Okay, so 0.3, 0.2, and 0.3. And then we also have our respective na leeward. If theta is greater than or equals to 20 degrees, was it? Alright, so naatay CP, which is 0.6. Okay? So for windward pamanta, let's focus on this part na lang sa. You notice here that when we have our theta, okay, let's have our theta now, which is this bit here. Pila kaya? 16 plus 10 over 2 over half ani, which is 20. Ba 16 plus 10, 12. 40 degrees. This is 45. Okay, so what we noticed with our theta is naka 40 degrees siya. It is not nowhere near the values of our tables. So what can we do about that one? Simple. All we need to do is utilize this rise over run. Okay, so rise over run, or differences of rise over run, basically states that I have y2, y1 over x2 minus x1. Apply the same principle with this one, okay? So let's have our first value. So let's say 45 minus 35 siya. Nasa taas na itong angles, right? And then sa baba na to is naatay 0 plus 0.2. Gets? Equals na to na siya karon sa tuwang E na naata 40 degrees minus sa tuwang 35. Let's denote this as our x plus 0.2. Okay? If you put this on your cycle, it will be a little bit too long. So there's a bit of a calculation for that one, okay? Which is simply getting, still, I do this. I simply have to divide this whole value here, put it on the denominator. And once I put this on the denominator, okay, this 0.2, I have to minus it, okay? We have 45 minus 35, 0 plus 0.2, and then we have to minus it by 0.2. Diba kay, mag-ano man siya, mag-plus 0.2 man siya dali dapit, all I have to do is just minus it. Okay? Natay 5 minus, and this is also 5. Natay 0.1. And by the way, this x is in terms of CP. Ha? So CP karon is naka 0.1. CP1 pa na siya. We have another CP actually. Crazy. So, let's have our other CP. Let's follow this format, no? Para fast siya, fast. So instead na 0.0 and 0.2 atong i-focus, let's utilize the lower values, which is 0.4 and 0.3 na positive. Okay, if positive siya gikan, no? Mahimo siya negative, obviously sa formula. And if negative siya gikan, pagbalhin ako diri mahimo siya positive. Kay plus 0.3 mo gud diri gikan good. Or negative 0.3, ibalhin na ako to siya dito. Ha? Ano na siya? Okay, so nana tayo mga CP2. Oh my goodness. 0.3 plus 3, 0.2, 4, natay 0.35. Okay, so nana tayo mga values. Oh, mana na itong skutan. So I have I have P1. This is for wind wall ha. Natay kining A nato multiplied by CP, which is 0.35. Let's utilize the first one na lang sa. And then we also have 0.85, which is given naman din, is equals to, times F times 10. F nato is 2.01. 7, 12 plus 10 over 12 to 200. 2 over 7. F na po. By the way, nadi siya A din, no? Napa din siya I, pero naka ano man eh. Ang I na to dire is naka 1. So okay lang. Non-essential mo siya good. So 1.0 na siya. However, if nana siya yung mga tao, let's say schools or buildings, since mas daghan magug kinabuhi, mas daghan of lives, there's more mortality involved. That is when you increase the importance factor. It's called importance factor for a reason, kaya importante na siya na building. Pero if wala kang siya tao, then it's not so important now, is it? Okay? So this will be A. A multiplied by 0.1 times 0.85. Natay? Tama niyo. For the first one, then we have P2. Okay, so natay 0.35 for this one, no? I do not remember these values. And then, lastly, this is for the windward, ha? How about the leeward? So leeward simply 0.6 na siya matik, kaya mas tako man siya sa 20 degrees. So we have 0.35, in this case, natin 0.6, simply 0.85 po niya. Notice, save lagyan po ng isa tanan because it only uses Q. Okay? Wala, nagkalahi ang Q. So A, 0.6, 0.85, 9.86 PSI. Alright, so usa ang naong ani karon pagbutaw nato sa ato ang figure. Well, pagbalik sa figure, it should look like this. I need a blue. Color blue. So, natay, kini siya una. Mo ni si 5 point. And then, going upwards. This is 1.64. Going like this. Upward siya. Ay negative man. 9.86 PSI. Yun! So, ano na siya, no? Okay. Ano na? Ay, balik niya. Give it a shade. Which is, kini kay leeward na niya, no? So, leeward. That's terrible, but it's okay. Alright. So, mura to. Ayos.